Did you know that the average garage door service repair costs anywhere from $200 to $300 plus HST, and that is just for the service call, not including any kind of parts and additional labor whatsoever. So when you add it all up, it gets very costly, and I'm here to save you that money by this guide that I've put together for you. Flip the unit over and take the measurement from the back. Transfer your measurement onto your mounting point location. In my case, I'm drilling a pilot hole because I'm screwing onto wood, but if it's drywall, use a pilot hole and the appropriate drywall anchor. Then sink your screw and just do a test fit on the bottom mounting location. Make sure that it slides up on there nice. Next, we match up the white wire with the white on the back and the red wire with the red on the back. It's color coded on the wire as well as on the screws themselves. Now in my case, you can see that this wire here is a little too short, so I'm using the low voltage wire that comes in the pack, and I'm actually going to be stripping it down on either side and then extending it using some electrical tape. This will give me the extra slack that I need for the wire so that I can fasten it to the back of the remote clicker. Finger tighten the electrical wire together on either side of the copper, and then using a little piece of electrical tape, tightly wrap it around your connection so that it's secure, and then you can loosen off your screw and retighten it with the copper wire on the screw terminal. Now just double check by pressing each button, make sure that it's fully operable before drilling a pilot hole for the top hole, and then using the appropriate screw to fasten it to the wall. To complete this install, we're just going to pop the button cover back on, and that's it, we're done. The next repair we'll be doing is making an adjustment to this metal horizontal arm so that the garage door, as you can see, does not rub against it anymore. And in order to do that, we're going to have to first make an adjustment to that beam. So using a framing square, we're going to mark out a rectangular notch, and then using an oscillating tool with a wood blade bit, we're going to be cutting out a notch in the beam. This beam is perhaps about 6 to 8 inches in width, and we're only cutting out approximately 1 inch from this beam, so it's not enough to impact structural integrity. It'll be completely fine for this application. I would advise against cutting out too much material from your beam. Just, a little goes a long way, so whatever you need, just cut that and no more. And the reason we're cutting this out of the beam is because we need that clearance for that metal arm to lift up into the beam, as well as the motor which is attached to the arm. Now make sure your motor is unplugged before performing this next task, and we're going to take a 1/2 inch socket with an adjustable wrench on the other side, and we're going to loosen off the nut and bolt. And once that's all the way loose, we can slide it out carefully with our hand under the motor so it doesn't fall down, and we can lift it up to the desired location on the track, and in our case we're going to be raising it up about 3 holes. Securely refasten your bolts, and then after doing that, you could consider zip tying the cables to the top of the track for a cleaner aesthetic. So that's what I've been doing here. I'm just using a few zip ties, passing them through the holes, throwing them in there, and then tightening it up and tidying it all so it looks pretty clean. Now we're ready to plug the motor back in. Now I'll be showing you some customizations you can do to the travel on the door. So for example, the knob on the right, if you turn that with a flathead screwdriver, it will increase the travel distance down your track. On the left, there's another knob, and that one is used to decrease the travel distance down your track. Moving to the back of the unit now, you can see that there's 2 more smaller knobs, and those are used to increase and decrease respectively the velocity and force by which the door will open and close. So it takes a moment just to read all those instructions there, but I highly recommend doing so to familiarize yourself with how the unit operates. Now I will demonstrate how we can program the remote clickers with the garage door motor. So you press and hold the learn button, and that orange light above the purple learn button will illuminate. Now we press and hold the clicker. And in some cases, you'll need to replace the battery if it's unresponsive. But in most cases where the battery still has enough juice, it will basically blink, meaning that it's been reprogrammed successfully. Let's go over some basic service maintenance that you should consider doing every season to keep your garage door running, and that is to spray these bearings here, each one top and bottom, using some lithium grease. And I like to use this white lithium grease, which is appropriate and suitable for the springs as well as the garage door rollers. That's preferable to anything like a WD-40 product. But yeah, give that a nice spray as I'm doing. Obviously, you don't need to do nearly as much as I did. I don't know what I was thinking. I think the OCD was kicking in here, but I'm really coating that thing. Anyways, that's about all. There's obviously more that can and will go wrong inevitably with your garage door, and I'd highly recommend just jumping on YouTube, seeing if you can find a solution to your problem before calling a garage door technician or company, because as I said in the beginning of the video, they do charge an awful lot of money, and it's pretty easy, as you can see, and quick to do most of these repairs. I'm sure you guys can figure that out by yourselves and save yourself the money, learn a new skill. So yeah, if this has been helpful, please drop a like and let me know in the comments if you're experiencing any issues, and I can help you out as best I can. That's all for today. See you next time.